The course we are studying is discrete mathematics. We are talking about logic and about quantifiers. So there are two quantifiers that we encounter usually. One quantifier looks like this letter E when it's flipped like a mirror image, and it means there exists a number. Another quantifier looks like this. And what it means is any number in the world that we will take, then we can say something about it. So these two quantifiers, sometimes we meet them in our homework, and we are being assigned the task to place, or sometimes it is placed for us, to place a negation sign in front of the sentence. The negation signs, or the not sign, looks like this. This is the negation sign, or not. And sometimes we have some kind of expression or sentence, and what we need to do is to place the negation sign in front of it, or maybe it's placed for us. And now what we're asked to do is to do some kind of actions that will push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence, more to its interior, more to the right hand of the sentence. And sometimes the negation signs even vanishes, and this is also very good. And how do we do that? So in previous videos, I showed you all kinds of ways and techniques that we can do some kind of action that will push this negation sign more into the depth and to the right side of the sentence. And now in this video, I'm going to show you another kind of way and technique. And what I'm going to do when I have some kind of sentence in front of me, I'm training my eyes to kind of look for some kind of pattern or some kind of structure in the sentence in front of me. Because if I see that I recognize this kind of specific pattern, I know I have something that I can do about this negation sign and a way to push this negation sign to the other side of the sentence. So I'm going to show you now some kind of pattern that I'm always in the look for when I have this kind of assignment. I'll write it down for you. So the letters P and Q here are really just a placeholder to whatever kind of expression you encounter. These expressions can have quantifiers in them. They can also not have quantifiers inside them. They can be with some kind of letters in, or just regular numbers. It doesn't really matter, okay? So this P and Q just come to say that there's some chunk of information there, whether it's an expression or a letter or a number or whatever. But the thing is that I'm looking with my eyes, and it kind of pops from the page to me if I see this kind of template. A template where there is the negation sign, and then there is a parenthesis, and inside there is this connective that means and. And here there is a negation sign again in front of the other expression. So if I see in the sentence in front of me this kind of template, this kind of structure, I have something that I can do in order to push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence. And I'm going to write the same phrase in a different way, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Isn't this amazing? The negation sign, actually both of the negation signs vanished. So it's unbelievable, but actually the two phrases, this sentence, and this sentence, the one above and the one below, they mean the same thing. They're interchangeable. So every time if I encounter this kind of structure in the sentence in front of me, I can easily and comfortably just write instead this thing. And the negation signs just vanished, and this is very good, in my progression to the tasks of eliminating or pushing inside negation signs. So this is one technique I wanted you to know and to be aware of. And I'm going to show you now another option, another kind of structure that if I encounter, I know how to rewrite it in a different way that will allow me to push the negation sign more inward to the sentence. So I'm going to write to you right now a different phrase that I'm looking for when I'm working with those sentences. I'm kind of observing and kind of try to find something that looks like this. Let me show you. So if I see in front of me in the sentence that I'm working on, the one that I should eliminate or push more inside the sentence, the negation sign, if I see something that looks like this with this structure, when it has some kind of parentheses and there's a negation sign in the beginning, and then there are some kind of expression, whatever they are, it doesn't matter what those expressions are, and between them there is this arrow of entailment or a consequence or however you call it. So there is a way I can write this exact phrase in a different way, which will push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence. And let me show you how it is being written. Look at this. The negation sign is no longer in the beginning of the sentence. It was pushed to this part. So this is progress as when I'm looking at my task to push the negation sign to the inwards of the sentence. And these two sentences, the one above and the one below, are the same. It's unbelievable, but they're interchangeable. But please notice that I no longer use in the way that I wrote it below. I no longer use the arrow of the entailment or consequence. Now there is a different connective that is being used here, the connective and the negation sign is being pushed to be in front of the second phrase that here I called it Q. And so I'm kind of looking all the time, kind of training my eye to look for this kind of structure when I'm working with those sentences that I need to push the negation sign inside. If I encounter this kind of phrase, I know there is something that I can definitely do in order to push the negation sign more into the depth of the sentence, and it will be to rewrite this sentence in this way. And if this video sounds to you familiar regarding those different ways to rewrite sentences, is because we already discussed it, and I'll tell you when. I will remind you. When we learned about the different connectives and or entailment and so on. So we discussed, or maybe not with me, maybe with your own teacher at your school, you probably discussed the fact that when you have this arrow of consequence of entailment, there are ways to write those sentences with the arrow in a way that does not have an arrow. And then when you learn this stuff, so you probably already went through all of this information that I just now told you when it was under the title or under the class of how to write sentences that originally used this arrow of entailment and consequence, and how to write those sentences without using this connective of entailment or consequences, but other connectives like and or. So what I did is actually I took the information from that lesson, and this information is very useful to me right now when I'm doing the tasks of looking at all kinds of sentences that has quantifiers in them, and it has the negation sign in the beginning of the sentence in the utmost left. And now I have to push this negation sign more inside and more to the depth of the sentence. This information is kind of helpful, and it helps me achieve this task. So I hope this was helpful for you. There's another way that I can vanish and kind of eliminate negation signs from my sentences that include quantifiers, and I'm going to share this tip with you on the next lesson, and I hope to see you there soon.